Hi, I'm Dr. David Pulley, the Relationship Doctor, and tonight I want to talk to you about one of my models that will be in my upcoming book. This model is called the Four Pillars model. The idea of this model is that all things in life can be based on four pillars: mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional. To give you an idea of this concept, I would have to tell you that since all things can be based on these four pillars, then the proper priority order of these four pillars are extremely important. Consider this: a person who puts the physical pillar in the number one priority position. This person is someone who is governed by their five senses, where they smell, hear, taste, see, or touch. If they cannot, then it's not real to them. They do not believe anything that they do not see, hear, smell, taste, or touch. Therefore, they're limiting themselves because there are things that exist that are beyond those five senses. To give you a quick science confirmation of this, the visual spectrum that the human eye can see, compared to the amount of wavelengths and spectrum of light that exists, is about this big compared to this big, if not smaller. So we're talking about the human eye being able to only see about this much. If a person governs themselves off of only being able to see this much, when this is how much is available to be seen using other instruments, tools, or technology, then this person is limiting themselves greatly. The same can be said for the other five senses. The human ear only hears about the same thing. That's why dogs, there's ultrasonic sounds, certain sounds, certain sights, wavelengths of light. We cannot see microwaves. We cannot see the waves that cell phones use. So anybody who governs themselves by such a limitation is missing a lot. Also, everything has to be expressed physically. Love would have to have more sex involved, more physical expression. Sadness, anger would all have to have more physical expressions because this person puts the physical pillar at the number one position. A person who puts the emotional pillar at number one position is someone who feels intensely everything. All of their feelings are intensified. Everything is governed by this emotional pillar. When they're sad, they're sad. When they're angry, they're extremely angry. When they are happy, it's almost maybe even annoyingly happy because it's just so much expression and intensity. When a person is governed by their mental pillar, this person could be over intellectualized, meaning that they can think too much and think actually instead of feeling. These individuals sometimes defensively do this without even knowing it. So although thinking is good, there is a such thing as too much of a good thing. When a person puts their spiritual pillar in a number one priority position, there are religious and spiritual concepts that say that all things start in the spiritual realm. What is the spiritual realm? It is one of the only two worlds that exist. You have the spiritual realm and the physical realm. These are the two worlds that coexist. So whether you believe in it, attend to it, focus on it or not, these are the two worlds that exist. Now the physical world is easy for us to understand because that's the world we're born into and we live in. But there's another world beyond the physical, beyond what our five senses can experience. In this realm or world lies the foundation of everything that we do know scientifically. Therefore, science and spirituality are related. How are they related, and how do we understand them? Through the mental and emotional pillars. These two pillars serve as the bridges between the spiritual and the physical worlds. Now that that's said, then the order of these pillars need to be properly placed. Cognitive behavioral psychology says that all actions come from feelings, and feelings come from thoughts. So the order of things is you think something, then you feel something based off of your thought, and then you do something based off of your feelings and thoughts. So, my model builds on that by adding the spiritual realm or the spiritual pillar and saying that things start beyond the physical world at all that we know. It starts beyond the human experience that we know. And it starts in a world that most people do not pay attention to or focus on. The spiritual realm. This is the realm and world of purpose, where all things that are meant to be and are purposed to be are originated by something higher or greater than what we know. Since this is the world of purpose, then thoughts should then come out of this world or realm and pillar. Then everything that you think would be more purposeful, more in alignment with who you are and what you're meant to do and do. If that occurs, then your feelings will be aligned with proper thoughts that give it logic and rationality, and that logic and rationality is based in purpose. Then come your actions, the physical manifestations. If everything is in proper priority order, then your actions that are done in the physical world, the physical manifestations, all of your feelings, are then therefore feelings aligned with proper thoughts, thoughts that are logical and can make the emotions be more logical and rational as opposed to being wild and outlandish and irrational. Those thoughts will then be based in purpose. So if all of those are correct, then your actions and your deeds will then be based in purpose, proper emotions, rational emotions, logical emotions. And you will see greater success, greater fulfillment, greater everything out of your actions and deeds. This is the proper priority order and the 4 pillars model as given to you by myself, Dr. David Pulley, the relationship doctor. I hope you enjoy and are able to use the information to enlighten yourselves and to self-reflect in order to make your actions and deeds be in alignment with good feelings, feelings that are rational, well thought out, and given proper logic so that they follow purpose. To give you a little more science before I sign off, I'll tell you this. The addictions model talks about the intellect being over the emotions. The intellect being over the emotions is important because they use it as an equation, a fraction if you will, where the thoughts, the intellect, govern the emotions. If this is out of order, where the emotions are over the intellect, E over I, then they liken this to being drunk or inebriated. And if you think about this, it makes sense. Many times, if you are inebriated by some substance, alcohol, drugs, anything like that, then your emotions are kind of wild and irrational, and they come out very quickly. You act before you think, because the central nervous system is slowed down or shut down. Therefore, your emotions become overly expressed and less controlled by thoughts that would inhibit the things that you feel irrational. This is confirmational or support that intellect or mental should be over emotional. So think about these things and consider these orders. The proper priority order for the 4 pillars should be spiritual, then mental, then emotional, then physical. Again, I hope you enjoyed this information, and I hope you're able to use it to better yourselves, to self-reflect, and to go after your visions and dreams and the things that you hope for in life, and to think about the purpose for which you have them all. I hope you all enjoy and have a good night. Relationship Doctor, Dr. David Pulley, signing off.